yourself over it. And any of us can answer questions on that. I've done a lot of PR. I'm pretty sure Stuart has, and I don't know if anybody else. I don't want to just say yeah, you have.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I probably
so tips on things just when you're giving a speech, things about like looking at the top of their heads. If you want to look somebody directly in the eyes, that's up to you completely. But when you're talking to a bigger crowd, it's just a lot easier if you're not making eye contact with everybody. If you want to like emphasize something, or you see that you've caught somebody's attention and they're really on you, then there are ways to like really like get yourself going, elaborate with your hands and different things like that. But I don't know if there's anybody here right now that's on the slate that's like questionable on getting up and giving a speech, or having trouble with like writing a speech, or want help, I guess with okay. So that's what that's kind of what we want to make sure is anybody that was here that is on the slate is that if you need help with speeches, this is something that we're going to try to set up on the side this week, so that we can either video conference all with each other, which is probably going to be the easiest way to do this.
I second.
And then basically just come up with different methods, different things that you can do to write the speech and help each other write the speeches before the.
So that was a motion, correct?
I second, but
So-
I'll
so
correct
what's the motion?
I motion that we have a video conference before the end of this week to make certain that our members are prepared.
With the slate members.
Our slate members are prepared for giving speeches and how to publicly hold themselves.
I have a short anecdote about that. I was talking to Valerie Jarrett about 4 days ago in Saginaw Valley. She gave the Martin Luther King. I gave her a couple of climate sticks, and one of the stories she shared is the reason she went to Stanford is when she was a sophomore. She went into a library, and there was a very attractive young man there who was a few years older, and she thought, boy, he is really cool. He said to her on his way out, "You should go to Stanford." She revealed this when she was in her 40s and 60s. She was embarrassed about this story, but the reason she went to Stanford was some guy she thought was cool said, "You should go to Stanford." Now, can you imagine a person who ended up being the advisor for the president, getting bent on a vector like that? And so if you got the right words that you can say shortly, it can make a big difference.
Right, impactful.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to amend Tony's motion to include the State Central Committee biographies too. It's the next topic of discussion in our agenda, but it's probably gonna be the same topic like we just said. So I think it'll be good to throw like biographies in there too, so we can actually like organize the biographies for the slate, because that's what they're asking for, like read the like 3-sentence biographies for everybody that's on the slate.
Basically, elevator pitch.
It's
I don't
just
know
more or
about
less
that.
just giving your resume in 3 sentences or
Pretty
something.
much just saying, like,
if you've sat on any committees, if you're
Your pedigree.
working on a caucus. Yeah. Really quick pedigree.
Okay, so all in favor?
Who seconded the motion?
I'll second.
Oh, well, yeah,
I'll second the
You can
amendment.
second your
Yeah,
motion.
that's right,
Or the
second
amendment. I second the motion. So this is really important, it doesn't.
This is informal, so
Right,
it's okay.
yeah.
We came into this saying this one specifically was gonna be informal because we're just focused on the convention.
And Abel, you motion to amend?
Yeah, I motion to amend and,
Second the motion, or amendment.
okay.
Thank you.
And then, so ayes.
Then all in favor?
Everybody.
Aye.
Cool. So motion passes. And then the next topic would be the order of slate. And I passed it around specifically
The way they got our slate set up right now.
Yeah, the way, like, for example, for whether it be me to be first, Rachel to be first, et cetera, so it can be like, I don't know if that's the best way to describe it, but yeah.
We're trying to, how do we wanna do this? So they're leaving it up to each district to set the way they want their slate to be stacked. So, the people that go on there, how are we gonna do that to make sure that it's democratically and we're not just going, oh, let's put this guy at the top and this girl at the top? You know what I'm saying? Like when we're putting the slate together.
That happens within the slate groups. There's ways that we can figure out how we want it to put the order. The only thing that I will definitely have to say is that you have to separate the male and
Yeah.
female list.
Yep. And
Oh, yeah.
Like they have to alternate.
I don't know where the
based
list
on
went
male
around
and
to.
female.
Did you
Like when
have
they
the
appoint the
list?
slate
I don't
cabinet
think so.
members, like you'll appoint either the female, I want to appoint the female first,
Nope.
and then you go
Oh,
the
he's
male
old.
second, and then their alternate goes along with that chair. So like, that's how we have to do it. Like there's no getting around that. But as far as the order goes, that's all up to us. Like we get to decide how we want to order the slate. So if we want to pull straws or vote
Mike, did
on
you get a
it
form?
or whatever
A
we
handy
want to do,
form that you
that's
cut?
how we have to figure
I
it out.
like the slate
So, is that over there?
No, he,
What do you need?
No, I just
Here's
have
the-
the
there it
agenda,
is.
that's all I
That's
have.
what I'm talking about, that's
Yeah,
exactly what I'm talking about, yep.
sorry,
Sorry.
guys. I'm moving around
My
too much,
bad.
I'm sorry, you guys, you're getting dizzy.
So like, I don't know if you wanna like.
Yeah, here, so you guys can see,
For Stuart to see too. as
Stuart,
well.
remember we said we were gonna make up a new sheet? This is, Stuart, just so you know, this is the sheet that Abel kinda put together last night to show, you know, the female, male, and their alternates below.
Perfect.
And
No,
it's,
that's exactly the way I want it.
right,
That's
and it's way more organized
And then like on the
than-
next page, it could just be like Abel Delgado with the, then
With
like
his
with the
biography.
biography, Ryan Marie, biography, Megan Krieger, biography, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So,
Mm-hmm. I like it.
and that, yeah. And so, yeah, that's how we were planning on.
If you just seen the way that the
organizing
slate itself had the form.
this.
it
Yeah,
was
this way it's a
very-
little bit more organized, and I put and that's why I was saying like, numerical order, if we're the ones to decide that, or if it's specifically the.
Within the slate, so when the slate gets together, as a
Okay.
whole, who's gonna be on the slate, they can make the decision on how they
So,
want to.
so at that point, do we actually like need the numerical rankings, or just leave that up to the slate, is that?
Just leave it up to the slate.
Okay, So, yeah, we'll just ignore the, order of it and just do that, but, I think, yeah, we can go ahead and see that. So, I guess that falls in line with the order of slate is, who's running on the slate. And right now, I'll start off with alternates because there's a few, I'm not sure, Kyle, did you say you'd be an actual or an alternate?
I'll be whatever is needed, I
Okay.
guess.
I know,
Regular then.
Hmm?
So you need to be as a normal person.
I mean, I can. I guess. I started this whole thing out saying no, I wasn't gonna like. I don't wanna, and now it's like, well, I'm this invested into it, I might as well. You know.
but yeah, James Strickland, he said he'd be an alternate, as a one male alternate, and then for other males we have me, Ryan, Joseph Pettigrew, and Kyle. So that equals 1, 2, 3,
Stuart on
4, 4. I didn't put Stuart. Okay, sorry, Stuart.
This is just a little rough draft copy.
Yeah.
I gotta try and put names.
I put it together like around midnight, so give me a break for that one. But so.
Right.
So yeah, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 male, actual like primary, and then we just need to add an additional.
So right now we're at one male, and then how many females?
We need one more male, and then for females we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we have 5, and then we have Amy who is considering it, Antonia's friend. So
Alicia,
yeah, so for the female side we have
So we
Antonia.
actually have more females than.
Yeah, we do, which is good.
Yeah, that's great.
So we have Antonia, Megan, Rachel, Carrie, and Licia right now who are committed. And then, like I said, Amy is a possibility right now, but we just need one more seat for a female delegate. So, yeah.
Okay. So we're at two more males and one more female then.
Gentleman from Bay City, does he want to?
Well, that's if you don't want to be a primary.
did you wanna be on the slate for the basis?
No, I'm involved in way too many
Okay.
things.
Right, okay.
But there may be people that I know, when I understand the profile, who might be interested.
Okay.
So he's gonna definitely ask around too once he gets.
Hold
to
on,
know a little
Brian.
bit
Hold
more.
that thought, Ryan. What's up, Tony?
I mean, it's only like 4 meetings a year, and yeah, so I'll run on it to fill the slot.
So Tony, so now we're just at 1 and 1 then. We just need one.
Actually, no, we're good. We're good, unless you were wanting to serve as an alternate, because right now, if you served as a primary, then we're good.
So we
But
need
if
a
you
whole,
We're fine. We're fine.
Okay, so we're fine with males and that, now we just need one female.
No, we still
And
wanna be
I-
working on.
So I still have Jamie Wilcox, who I'm hoping she was the one I was talking
Yeah,
about, water keepers.
That'd be cool.
Or water protectors. Yeah, so, yeah, if we can get her, that would.
Now, we
done
still-
deal.
We still wanna make sure that we've got,
And we can
like we
also
said, we
use
wanna
alternates.
build a whole list of 24 names, so we still wanna look
That's
for
true.
alternates. Obviously, we wanna get this filled first, so if we get the main slate members that can run, get that set, and then we can start kinda just putting out, saying, hey man, could you just be an alternate for me? I mean, you might have to go to one meeting a year possibly, you know, if I'm sick or something. And,
I agree with that. That's definitely how we should do it.
but I mean, and having our primary list together already is already awesome, you know what I mean? Cause we can start to put biographies together, because I don't believe they don't need biographies for the alternates, did they? They just wanted that for your,
It's probably preferable to have
Might as
5 for the
well.
alternates, but it's not necessary.
Right.
I mean,
Tony, recognize Tony.
Do we need a template for biographies? I know it's supposed to be really short, but like, some people haven't done this, and a little insert activist thing here, insert thing you
Yeah,
carry here.
when we, specifically when we like have that call together, all, everybody that's running down the slate, I think we can discuss how we wanna organize the biography, especially for the like finer details, if we wanted to be like, my name is Abel, or like Abel, or speaking
These are
in
my
third per-
pronouns.
or more so specifically which person we're gonna be speaking in,
Yeah.
third person or
Yeah.
whatnot. So I think once we have that like call, then we can actually discuss that along with the other like, with the messaging of a speech, et cetera, so.
Is that what's gonna be handled on the organizing call tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. It's like, it's almost like Sam has this all planned out.
It's like,
It's
we're,
almost like it's coming
it's like
together.
we're organizers or something.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you guys this much. It's really good to have. It's really good to have Licia on our slate, and it really made me really happy that she was so excited about last night. I'll say this because not only is she one of the main organizers with D15, she's an SEI. She's on the SEIU, the union, SEIU, right? Am I saying that right? Yep, with the union, which is great to have. She knows about some of the UAW stuff that's happened, especially in Genesee County and local. So she's hip to knowing what kind of stuff they might try to pull on us there. But it was just a great addition to have in there with us last night on that. So if you guys didn't know, she
Another
did.
thing too that
Kudos.
she's gonna add to our slate is the geographic diversity that we need to cover District 5. Like optimally, a good slate has somebody from each district or each county that's represented in the district. Right. And that's awesome that we have IOSCO on there. That's huge. That's really big.
Thank you.
Now we just gotta get, wait, Airnet County, we have somebody from Airnet County, so.
You have someone from Internet?
We're talking on the slate, right?
Yeah.
I'm from Airnet County.
Oh, okay.
Exactly,
And then if we can get Jamie as well, and Jamie would be from Airnet.
James from Anna.
Yeah,
Okay,
she
good.
lives in White
Yeah,
Beach.
so like, and I think we could still like continuing like to, especially like for example, like if Amy did want doing still too, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're like, because if we're gonna be honest, a lot of us are humble, and I'm like, talking with a few of us, like we've said like, yeah, we would be willing to like step down from like that primary position into an alternate position if we had to. So like, don't feel like because we have like that one spot available, that's like limited to just that one spot, and that we can continue to build, regardless of that, so yeah.
Yeah, like my own, like I'm down for like running, but if there's someone who wants it more and is real fired up about it, I'll be the alternative, no doubt, man. But like, you find that person, give them a call, like let me know. But like, I'm down for the cause.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And overall, we have, well, actually, like, looking at the slate, like, what we have so far, it's really good, full of, like, different backgrounds. So, yeah. I think that's good for order of slate and, like, slate layout. Waiting for the update with, we'll just have for the next meeting, the update with Kyle's lead. I guess we can move on to upcoming meetings. Stuart, I know he mentioned at the last meeting, there's a Bay County Dems meeting on the 29th at 7 PM. I don't know, Stuart, or if you wanted to touch on
We
that.
had another one. Yeah, Ron would be at the Bay County Downs meeting on the 29th, and there's another meeting for the Saginaw County, or the SDSU Young Dems on the 30th. I believe that's at 8 o'clock.
So we have the 29th and the 30th for meetings?
Not our meeting specifically.
No, but
okay, yeah,
more
just making sure,
meetings.
just wanted to clarify that.
Yes.
This is Kyle, is that right?
That's kind
That's me.
And you're the one going to Bay County?
So I was going to, but as it turns out, I have to work on Tuesday night.
We have others going. Stuart, you're going, right?
Stuart plans on going.
I'll be there.
Have you made a contact with the Bay County chairman?
Oh, perfect.
No, he said have you.
Have you.
Have you made contact with the Bay County chairman?
Am I? No, that's my thing, is I've been having a really hard time with reaching out to some of the Bay County Democratic Party members.
Well, she's in Jamaica.
Oh, what? She's in Jamaica. She's in Jamaica.
Next,
so
is it?
that's probably what the chair, you know?
However, the previous chairman is going to chair the meeting.
Okay.
Joe Rivette is his name, and you haven't talked with him. So I will talk to Joe on Monday and tell him you're coming.
Fantastic.
Is that correct?
Awesome.
Well, I'm gonna try to make it to that meeting too, so there's a few of us that are actually gonna try to make it there that day to talk to you guys and reach out to Bay County, so.
Okay, I just wanted to know if they like to know in advance, not that they
Right.
wouldn't give you a short opportunity to speak, but,
Right.
All things for meetings and agendas,
what?
but just getting the information out for meetings, agendas, and whatnot.
I'd like to recognize Rachel.
I just had a question. When is the SDSU Young Dems one?
The 30th?
That one is at 8 o'clock on the 30th, that's at Curtis Hall.
Curtis?
I had accepted it, I just haven't decided.
Well, you're
I was
going
gonna say
now.
that, and I can go to that one, I don't work on Wednesday, so I could go to that one as well.
Can I get a show of hands in the room of who's all going to that meeting, just so people can kind of know who to look for?
Which meeting?
Yes, yes, you
That's
one?
VSU one.
The SVSU one.
Do we have a contact?
I will go to that one.
Alright, so we got Kyle, we
Yeah.
got Rachel.
Stuart, you'll be there. Why don't you the SDSU? Yep, Stuart will be there.
Okay, Stuart will be there.
So
Yeah,
Stuart-
I mean, we're all on
Yeah.
the Facebook, group thing, so.
Okay.
And SVSU is not a
Yep.
challenging campus,
Yeah.
and especially for Curtis.
And then, obviously, we have the spring convention on February 2nd. Were there any other meetings to bring up?
Do we have a meeting post-state convention set up? Cause I believe we were wanting to get that
Are you
agenda.
specifically talking about within CD5?
Yeah, within CD5.
That's, I think we can decide that immediately, I mean,
So should we?
I think we could, cause that's technically will be like the next subject in the agenda, so like, I think we could like, figure that out next, because the state progressive caucus is going to be, we haven't figured out that they are gonna be voting to charter us in, correct, at the state meeting? Was that the-
We will be, basically what we have to do is we're gonna announce our elections at the caucus. After we announce our elections at the caucus, the state caucus will help us to make sure that they put, announcements out to all of our members in the CD5. Let them know that we will be holding our elections. Now, we have to set an election date, that we wanna hold at least 10 days after the announcement. So I'd say do it on the 10th day and just get it done. And then once that's done, they've already basically honored us as being a working caucus, but to get us in the Constitution, get all that in writ, that we wanna make sure that we've got our executive members voted in and the working parties, because that's, the working committees is what's gonna make this thing keep going, and I know we've got a lot of people that are ready to get to work.
Hold on, Stuart.
Hold on, Stuart, hold on, Stuart, hold on.
Tony had his hands up first, go ahead, Tony.
So I just wanted to clarify, Ryan, is that a motion to set a meeting 10 days after the convention?
Let's talk on that more after my organizing call tonight that we're gonna have. We have an organizing call
I
with the
just-
state and the big tent too, that we'll be able to ask a little bit more on.
Yeah, I just wanted to make certain, because it sounded like we might be making that. I was like, alright, well, if we are, let's.
Well, more so, my big thing right now is, well, now Stuart, did you have anything to say? I don't wanna cut you off right now.
Yeah, well, I wanted to talk a little bit more about what the committee's gonna do and just give a brief recap of what we talked about last meeting for David on our phone here, because we have a lot of policies that we talked about that he is very capable of helping network with us and making sure that we have the ground laid down for. David, if you wanna give a little bit of a brief introduction about what WARP is all about, and how we can get this, integrate these with the policies that we have.
Sure. Alright, so real quick, just a quick overview. I just came on to PORP within the last 4 months. However, PORP originally started as a political party after the 2016 election. Through a long change series of events, they decided that wasn't the best use because third parties in America just don't really do very much. So basically what PORP's trying to do now is transition into coordinating with local groups such as yourself and really helping provide our network and our platform that we've already built to bring national attention to local issues. So for example, whatever you guys are doing in Michigan, we would like to bring that up and show that to the 50,000 Facebook likes we have, or 27,000 Twitter followers, whatever it is. We can write articles about it. That's just one aspect. The other aspect is we're trying to coordinate and really make boots on the ground efforts happen in your local policy making, whether it's at your state level or your local municipality, school board, whatever it would be. So we're trying to coordinate with groups that are willing to align and that naturally align with the values that PORP and the pillars that we have, which, from the sound that's just like a brief introduction.
So you guys know what Stuart's talking about, sorry. Alright, just so you guys know what Stuart was talking about too, and kind of where we're gonna be kind of working with David on this. We're working on some programs and some policy right now. We've talked about this in the last meeting, but just to give a really quick overview. I'm working on, a writing program that we're gonna be working with incarcerated youth. It's an arts program that, not only is it going to be teaching them about creative writing and kind of making them expand, but we're also gonna do it as like a leadership course, where we have all kinds of different things that we'll be able to create these, let these kids know that there's still hope, and put them back out into the community and different, other social programs that are already set up to, make sure that they advance in their lives and it's not just being locked up or, continuing out the school to prison pipeline. The other one is, which is what we think we're gonna be able to really get out to the rural areas, the farmers, because we know that obviously the state of Michigan's been turning more red when it goes out to your rural areas, and farmers voting for Trump, is a public banking system that we want to start pushing at a local level. So if we can even get these smaller cities, smaller towns, wherever it may be, to switch over to a public banking system and then start to make that, grow from there. The system that Able has drawn up, which is something that, after we were like, executive members voted in, working committees started going, we want to try to push this. So if we do it from, figure out like, is it best to do it from like a ballot initiative? Is it better to do it, so these are like all things that obviously we'll talk more in the future.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with public banking, please look it up. Able can tell you some quick facts really quick, just so you guys have an idea of what it is.
Obviously, because I want to like make sure we can continue going because everybody has lives. So, but yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's been a public bank for the state of North Dakota since the 1920s, and obviously I can tell you plenty more stats, but just one of the main ones that really sticks out is. I forget when it was, but just recently they were even more profitable than, consistently they're more profitable than Goldman Sachs, and that says a lot for public banks. So, and especially like considering that you got North Dakota as a very rural area, and the Democratic Party needs to actually like create an agenda that actually reflects rural America, because we're going to continue losing in places like Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania if we don't actually do something to address these things. So yeah. Going back a little bit though, but like before we start talking about policies, so we can quickly finish up on the upcoming meetings though. I was about to mention about for the next meeting and stuff. My biggest concern is that we figure out a meeting time and to specifically have we're voting this day right now, and then then somehow the Progressive State Caucus says something else, because remember in the last meeting we had voted to approve the ballot, and we were supposed to be voting to approve on ballot today through the chair, treasurer, and at large, the executive committee for us to be chartered in. But State Progressive Caucus said we'll just make a motion at the actual convention. So that's more so why I'm going back and forth. I'm not sure of if we should, and then I'm not sure cause I obviously want to. It's just more so a thing. I don't also want to commit to something and then go ahead, Brian.
Well, I think we're all going to be meeting at the caucus anyways.
Yeah.
So I think we can all sit down at the caucus and come up with a date that we can definitely set for the election. That would be at least 10 days out from the announcement. And then we'll just make sure to get that date out to everybody.
And if we can, I would like to have that date figured out before the Progressive Caucus comes to meet, because we're gonna have to declare that we're having this meeting to vote at that caucus. So what ultimately is gonna happen is we're gonna have that meeting before the Progressive Caucus meeting, and then when we go in there, we'll announce that this is the date and time that we're voting for executive members for the CD5 Progressive Caucus.
Let me recognize Tony real quick, because you
I hear we're being said. I'll make it official. I'd like to put a motion that we make these the call to set up the next meeting in the agenda, that we get to people the night before or Thursday before the conference. Can we do that?
Repeat the motion again.
Do we?
So no, if we,
Repeat the motion again.
sorry. Basically, if we can put this on our agenda, that we will get out to the people in the group, that we will be having the meeting at the end of the caucus or wherever we are, and just put that in the agenda email that we're probably going to send out the night before or the day before. Is it that simple?
Can
Maybe
we
we
set
should
up
open it
a,
up for I think we should, like, it'll be best to open it up for discussion of what, like, everybody thinks, like, should be done in this situation, if we think that we should still, like, okay, let's just schedule it for the 12th regardless, like, because it's 10 days after the convention. And that, or like, if we should, like, or like, discuss, like, among us right now, if you want to say.
I put something, a proposal out for everybody. How about we have a video conference meeting Wednesday? If that's possible to everybody, we can do it in the afternoon, to early evening, to at least getting members on there, and we can come up with a tentative date there, or a date that we could have at to announce for the election day at the,
You said on Wednesday?
convention. So Wednesday, have a video
So
conference.
this
Today's-
coming Wednesday?
Yeah, so today's Sunday, because the convention's this next weekend.
That's,
So have a meeting midweek, Wednesday. We know that the weather's supposed to be
that's the
crazy,
30th,
so
right?
what, we can't meet in
Yeah.
person, it's gonna be a lot harder to
So
do that.
that's gonna be the night of the SVSU gym, so.
Oh, that's
Okay,
good.
also
Gotta
then
keep that
that's, then Thursday. Is Thursday work with everybody? Because there's not a meeting for Thursday. Thank you.
Thursday is the 30th or 31st?
31st.
31st.
Okay, cool.
So we'll set it for, is that good with everybody? I mean,
Just have,
Thursday, 31st at what time?
that's what we're trying to figure out, 6 o'clock. What's good for a meeting time? And usually,
yeah.
we've been meeting at 7 when it comes to our organizing calls for, the big tent slate as a whole, for the captain, so you guys want, is 7 o'clock good?
Yeah, let's do 5 to 7 if you guys are good with 7.
Alright, so I'll put it on the table, we'll have set a meeting for video conference, Thursday at 7 PM to discuss, election day and, convention, or caucus, what's gonna basically be going on at the caucus that day and get people ready.
I won't be able to make that meeting, but I'll get notes from you guys.
Does anybody second that motion?
I second.
Okay. And you said that was at when?
Thursday
Thursday?
at 7 PM,
at
video
7,
conference.
And we can figure out, like, naturally, I'm assuming we can use Zoom.
Yeah,
And we can make sure to get that information out to everybody so they can be part of the call, because essentially all we're just gonna be doing is just informing, so because the biggest thing is like, cause we can't figure out, like, if we're going to be voting because of tomorrow, I'm sorry for, not tomorrow, because of, the state organizing call with the State Progressive Caucus. Yeah, which makes it, just, that's, I guess you can argue that red tape sort of with the State Progressive Caucus is sort of like hindering it a little bit, it's to make it a little
well,
more.
we've already got in
State
writing
forest,
from
yeah.
them saying
Yeah.
that it's 10 days, that's how the
Yeah.
bylaws state themselves now. But what's really going on here is the fact that there's gonna be new executive members being
Yeah.
elected to the state caucus, and that's kind of why they didn't wanna have the election before. And it's
Yeah.
easy, honestly, you're gonna get more numbers for your election and membership if we're able to announce right there, like, some
Yeah,
people that are
that's
part of CD5 right now
That's
don't
true.
know that our caucus is even organized yet, so it's gonna make a, yeah, so we come up
That's
with a
true.
date that we can have at the announcement, to come up with on Thursday, and then, I think everything will work out.
You're right, yeah, it would. So,
Okay.
go ahead.
I just want to let you guys know we are at 1 hour, 2 minutes, and I think I've got maybe another 10 minutes before we would go into a part 3 for the meeting.
Alright, so we're finished, we're
I think
Okay.
we're pretty much good.
Yeah.
So, who seconded, you, Tony, you said you seconded that
Yeah,
motion?
Somebody seconded that motion.
Is everybody in favor? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Cool. A motion passes. Yeah, so we got pretty much a tentative next meeting time and date, and then we can go from there. And then closing comments, questions, or concerns?
I just wanna say really quick before everybody gets up to leave, membership is the most important thing right now, you guys, getting people involved. There's people out there right now, like we said, that were just disenfranchised with the Democratic Party as a whole after what happened with Bernie. And a lot of these people that are still very active in the organizing community, some of these people are still very active in activism and these kind of things, and they're just looking for something like us right now to get involved with and start to actually get out into the communities. So I can't stress the importance of making these calls out. And then I'm gonna work really, really hard tonight to see about getting us a van list, getting us maybe even hooked up with van through the Democratic Party, and doing those kind of things so that we can get the full membership list and really start to put in our calls out to all these people and start setting up one-on-ones and things like that, so
I'd be
please,
excited just
please,
thinking about a
if you
fresh
can,
band list.
reach out to your friends that you know live in the CD5 caucus that might not even be part of the Democratic Party, get them to sign up, tell them that this is the only way, obviously, that you're gonna get anything changed. If the law doesn't change, nothing, they're not gonna stop. It has to be down on paper, it has to be in the law. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I'd like to just briefly mention this before we adjourn, that there's a lot of potential with the caucus, especially as far as like leadership goes and like getting members. Cause I mentioned to Tony earlier that, I've already been in contact with some people that already have like a candidate training, so he said all we would have to do is just fill a room and they'd be there. And we could easily create create very good candidates for local areas to actually represent local issues that people are concerned about, which is great.
And we have a strong working relationship with them already, right?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I already called Bartos, and Bartos said like, yes, this can be done. It will be done. All you gotta do is just let me know the day, pretty much. But yeah, with that being said, does anybody have anything else?
Well, somebody came in late, a little bit.
I got 3 very short things. First thing is, you notice my button. Okay, if there's anybody here who supports Sherrod Brown, I will give you a button. As long as you promise when he announces for his candidacy, you'll donate to his campaign. Because there's no campaign right now, he's working on it. Wall Street Journal today said Donald Trump is gonna be watching Sherrod Brown be sworn in as president. He is the guy, so if you're already there,
I said that.
I will give you a pin and then, I only have 5, but then you can spread the word. The second thing is what's really close to my heart, and I want to give everyone 2 of these, so if you just want to pass them around, plus 2 climate sticks. So if you pass those around, and if you don't want this stuff, you can leave it on the table and I'll take it back. Basically,
We'll get you some.
Basically, the climate stick allows you to tell the climate story in 90 seconds, but because we're tight, I'll do it in 60. The green represents CO2, that's good CO2 that's been there for 11,000 years. There were 4 million people on the planet 11,000 years ago, 12,000, and we didn't change the CO2 level of 295 parts per million for that period of time, even though we grew from 4 million to 1 billion. We went in 200 years from 1 billion to 7.5 billion people, and we put the black in, which is the carbon, which is causing climate change. This is on its way to being the international symbol, like the peace symbol, for the climate change movement. I give those to you so you can give them to other people, and go to the website that's on there. There's a whole description of all this activity. Really quickly, Bill McKibben, Ed Bagley Jr., Michael Moore, Keith Ellison, Nina Turner, Dr. Michael Mann, they all support this.